Got no music,
It's
but
all good.
It's all good. They
Doom,
know who
doom,
they know who we
doom,
are.
they know who
doom,
we
doom,
is.
doom, 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 doom. No.
They know who we is.
Yo, you can see yeah, it just went live on YouTube. All right. So you got us on Facebook too, right?
Live, YouTube live
All right.
from the
All right.
phone.
Can you see? Can you see who's watching or whatever?
Nah, I can't see who's watching, but
Oh, because it's on
because I'm on my phone.
the Yo. All right. So y'all know who it is. It's Smoking Mirrors Uncut podcast coming at y'all. You know what I mean? It's Be More. We got our other co-hosts, my other co-hosts right here, other Kings, Detroit,
Chill.
Jay Lee.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yo, all right, we doing it a little different today. So please bear with us as we are not on our computers tonight. But we did want to bring y'all some information about voting. I think that to me is important. Like we want change, especially we talk about a bunch of change nowadays. Um, we want change in our judicial system. We want change when it comes to policing. We want change when it comes to our elected officials, period. So I'm going to give a rundown for those who don't know, because I was definitely one that was ignorant when it comes to our officials and what they do, what power they hold, and how it affects me. So I'm just going to talk about that a little bit. So first, I'd like to say to my brothers, y'all got anything with that, or y'all know anything about that at all? Have y'all looked into that?
You good?
A little bit here and there. Not too much, but a little bit here and there. Just knowing, as far as the voting, knowing my rights, knowing where to vote, how to vote, certain avenues to go to get my vote across, um, and find out about people, especially in my community, the people that I want to vote for. Of course, there's the national thing, and of course, there's the vote for the presidency, of course. But what's most important for us is local. You know what I'm saying? It starts locally, then it branch out. So find out who your local assembly person are, who your local mayor is. Find out about those people. Find out who the people who are running against those people, and see if they coincide with your views and everything else. So you know.
Yeah. What about you, Lee?
Mhm.
I missed the question. I was doing something on my phone. Well, so what was that
I
Dude,
was just saying,
daydreaming,
basically,
man.
did you look into anything when it comes to voting or anything like that? Did you look into any of that? And I'd say, basically, what do y'all think about when they want to get like 10,000 people registered, people that's not registered to vote, and your thought process on that or whatever?
I mean, I, I'm kind of on lines with what Troy said. It's just about knowing who your local legislation is and like knowing who you actually voting for. Yeah, you can get all the numbers, but you still need to know who you voting for and why you voting for them. That's the big thing. They keep saying, "Get out, vote, 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 vote," but they never say, "Do your background on people, do your research on people, find out why you voting for them, find out how these people can help you in your local towns." Because yeah, the presidential election is a big election, but they don't vote no other elections. So those are important as well. So that's how I feel about that. You know.
Yep. Yep.
Definitely. Because that was kind of what I was getting at. It's really good that you get all these people to vote. But my thing is, me personally, I think an ignorant vote or somebody that really, didn't do any type of research on their voting is kind of worse than voting, because you could be voting against your own interests. I know me and you talked about that for a little bit. But that's kind of how I feel. So I don't think that we should just say vote, vote, vote. I think we should be practicing and telling people to not only vote but understand who you're voting for. Don't just go party lines. I don't go party. I might lean towards a certain thing, but I don't go party lines. I go with the candidate that best suits what I'm thinking at that time. Um, so I'm just going to it just a little bit, right? Because it's a lot. It's a lot. So first off, right, you have some websites you can go to. I'm just going to speak to uh, my area, right? But I believe it still works the same depending on where you are. All you got to do is a quick Google search, basically. So I'm in Cumberland County. So in Cumberland County, that's you can go to the Cumberland County Clerk website. It'll tell you what upcoming elections are coming up, who who's incumbent, basically, and who is running. It'll give you all the people that's running. It'll give you all the offices, everything. So, as of right now, New Jersey is voting for Congress, right? Now, in Congress, Congress is a two-set part. One part is the Senate, and the other part is the House of Representatives. Now, the Senate sends two representatives from each state, period. So, New Jersey has two representatives, right? One of them is Cory Booker. You might know that name. And the other one is Bob Menendez, right? And as of, I think, this upcoming election, we're voting on one of those seats. So you pay attention. You see those signs around your house. Pay attention to those because those are telling you what's coming up and what you're voting for. So you'll see the signs for Cory Booker or whatever. I don't know who's running against him, but I know he's trying to run for Senate again. So again, we have two Senate seats, and we have the House of Representatives that both make up the Congress. Now, the House of Representatives is you get representatives depending on your population. So depending on how big your population is, depends on how many representatives you have, right? So they'll break it down like New Jersey is broken down into 12 districts, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 12 districts, right? And each district will constitute a certain area, right? So again, I'm gonna talk to the area that I live in, but again, all you have to do is look this stuff up. It's pretty easy to find. So I live in the second district, and in the second district, my House of Representatives representative is Jeff and Drew, right? And I'm just giving that name just so because some people might have seen the commercials in this area. You probably seen his signs all over the place, but he's voting for House of Representatives again for the second district. Basically, House of Representatives, they get 2 years. So every representative through all the 12 districts of New Jersey is getting reelected at this time. But the only one that I can vote for, the only one that I'm dealing with is the one in my district. That's why it's important where you live, where you vote, and stuff like that. So that's up. And I think who's going against him is Amy Kennedy, I believe is the I guess the big name. They have some other people on that ballot, just like in the presidential ballot. You'll have you might have the two main people, which is Trump and Biden, but you also have other names. So pay attention to that. Looking at that, I'm not going to go too far into that, but that's basically it with that part of it. That's the federal, right? And that's definitely important. Then once you go below that, obviously, you know, we have a governor, right? Our governor is Phil Murphy. And basically he's, again, just a smaller form of when you talk about the president and the Senate and all of that stuff. So the governor basically is technically, I don't know if you want to say the president of New Jersey. Basically, he's the, you know, the executive branch of New Jersey. He's the head, right? And then underneath of him, we have state senators, which is completely different, right? They just deal with the laws of our state. And you have 2 assemblymen underneath. Now, you have so many, that is broken down into districts too. So you have a legislative district. There, you need to find out what legislative district you're in. And depending on that, depends on who your senator, who your state senator is for your district that helps with laws, who the 2 assemblymen in your district are who also help with laws. That's important. And then once you go below that, you have mayors. You have a mayor for each city. So Millville has a mayor, Vineland has a mayor, Bridgeton has a mayor, and Upper Deerfield has a mayor. Right? So those people, again, are the executors. And then beyond that, this is where it breaks down to be different depending on where you live, because it can change every, like how much power and what the mayor does changes depending on what city you're in. How much, because I think we have how he gets elected, stuff like that. You'll have, we got a township committee, and basically that township committee consists of the mayor, deputy mayor, and 3 other people. Now the next mayor is going to be on that township committee in my area. So I don't think anybody can just go in and try to be mayor. You have to be on the township committee first, and then they pick from that township committee. So our next mayor is going to be from that township committee. That consists again of 5 people. I won't go into because it's simple to kind of figure out what their terms are, how long they can stay. But I know y'all know that the Senate and the in the House of Representatives, there's no term limit, but there is a term limit on governor, on mayor, and it's maybe a couple other things. But so you got your mayor, you have your township committee, right, where your mayor comes from. That's what mine is called. Other cities might have it a little different. It might be called something different, but it still performs the same way. So they'll all be different names, right? I don't know if you've been paying attention to the sign. Have people that are we're also voting for sheriff. So we're voting for a new sheriff. We're also voting for what is it called? I forgot what it's called. But we're voting for sheriff and freeholders. That's who we're also voting for, freeholders. The freeholders hold a significant amount of power. The sheriff they work in hand with your county, dealing with law enforcement. I'm pretty sure they have to be law enforcement. I didn't look into that, but you can look into. And then past that, another thing that I think you should possibly look into is your school district. So your school district, to me, I think is another important thing, simply because that dictates the curriculum that is taught to your children. And when you got your child coming home and they're getting taught history or science or something, and it's something different than what you may believe or you think, that's your time to challenge that, because you can be on the school board. School board dictates who your superintendent is. And that's the person that basically is in charge of your school system. You know what I mean? What the curriculum is, when they go to school, like stuff like that. So a lot of that's dictated by him. Pretty much in control of all of that. And your board of education is the one that hires the superintendent, and he answers to them. So all those things are important, understanding how to be a part of that. And all of these things that I talked about, all of them hold open meetings that you can go to. In New Jersey, most of it's in Trenton. And they tell you the days, the time, everything, whether it's postponed, whatever the case may be. So if you know, all that is public, you can sit in to all those things. Same thing when you do your local township, like your city meet and stuff like that. You can sit in all those things. just so you know, and knowing these people is important. Like it's readily made knowledge. All you have to do is Google it, do a simple search, and you can figure all that stuff out. Knowing those people, knowing what you're voting for. Again, I think I told you the one website that told you all the people and what you're voting for, and then there's another one called like Ballotpedia, I believe it's called. And on that one, it also, you can just look up the state of New Jersey and what New Jersey is voting for in the upcoming like elections and stuff like that. So I know that was a lot, and that's just the basics. I'm hoping it wasn't too hard to understand.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what, be more. It was a lot of information, but it was a lot of good information. A lot of people don't know what you just talked about. So now those people can go and Google and find out what you were talking about. Certain people inside their districts who they may not know who they're voting for. You get that ballot in the mail now, or we used to go to the ballot box and you're looking down the column and you're seeing names. You got to know who you're voting for. That name
Yeah.
may not coincide in your values. So this is what I say. When you get the mail-in ballots, open it up, look at the names, and research them. All you gotta do is Google them and find out if their values line up with yours. If they don't, go to the next person and go to the next person and go to the next person. And like you said, this even goes out to down to our school district, down to our schoolings, down to the school superintendents. Fat shout out to my boy Oscar, who's actually trying to be in the school board in Williamstown. So hopefully he gets in there. He understands that too. It starts locally. It starts in our schools. It is and it starts in our local businesses, and then it branches out. So find out who you're voting for. And just like Jessica just said, knowledge is power. So if you know, the power is in your hands. You could do what you want to do with the knowledge. So that's all I gotta
Yeah.
say about that, man.
And another thing is you can't complain if you vote, and like you got some people that complain and don't vote at all. You know,
Right, right,
so
right.
they complain
I
about
don't want to hear you complain if you ain't voting.
you ain't voting.
I don't want to hear you complaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because a lot of those
Yep.
Yep.
positions that
Definitely.
now powerful.
What you were saying?
A lot of those positions that you just put out there, they powerful. They do a lot of things inside your local communities,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yep.
And
Good stuff, man.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I've been in the booth and I've been like, what who are these people? Like I don't even know. I don't even know. Oh,
Yeah.
let me just leave that alone because I don't know. I was ignorant. And it's never too late to start understanding that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not an expert at it. I just took the time to research and look at it. All the information you could ever want is sitting right there. All you gotta do is take the time, and once you have that knowledge, you have it. Like
Yep.
you didn't waste your time. So then you know what to do, where to look, stuff like that, and it's
Yeah.
super important. And I don't care what party line you on. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. I'd much rather an educated voter than an uneducated voter because at least you're voting for your interests. Because I feel a lot of times people vote against their own interests, not even knowing. You know what I mean? Not even understanding what it is they're actually voting for. Because you got to be careful, man. I think the people on the local level are more accessible. But once you start getting up, man, them people have an agenda. Some people have an agenda for money or whatever it may be. They're in somebody's pocket. We all know politics isn't free of some type of shadiness, but you could try to curtail that with your knowledge and how you vote and how you use your vote. So I just thought that was important. Again, if anybody can correct me on anything, please do that because again, I just started doing all this stuff, so I'm not an expert on it. I'm still learning. And if there's any questions that I can help you with, or any of us from Smoke and Mirrors can help you with, please hit us up. And that's pretty much it with that. Just make sure you understand what district you're in when it comes to your legislative district, your representative, because all those people, when I talked about Congress, those people represent you. So if they're not representing you, you feel like they're not representing you, vote them out. Plain and simple.
Yep.
True.
Yep. It's that simple. Power is in your hand. The power is in your hands. Power's in your hand, man.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I have on that. I don't know if y'all had anything else, fellas, or I just wanted to bring that because election time is coming very close, and some big decisions are going to be happening in the next couple of years. And I just feel like it's important. If you want to make change, if you want to change things, here's your chance right now. Take the time.
Yeah. People,
take the time.
People got to start voting outside of their own party. Like, people just vote straight down the line when they go to the photo booth. They don't. I said photo booth. The voting booth. yeah, they just click, 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 click. Like they so stuck in one place. That they don't want to think outside the box and vote for who should actually be in office, not because they on one side of the line.
Yep.
Which is why we end up in the predicaments we are with the different people that's in power. Because
or the same people that's in power all the time, especially locally. You know what I mean? We just rate down. We just go down the column, just click them down, and all of a sudden they're in office for 25 years and they have done nothing for you.
Yeah, because they know they got your vote.
They know they got your vote. So do your research and make sure that's the person that you're voting for. He got that person, he or she have you in mind and their values line up with yours. Period.
Oh yeah.
That easy. It's in your hands. You got a phone. You know what I mean? Mostly everybody in the state of New Jersey or any state, they have a phone. You have a search. You have a search on your phone where you can search up a person and look them up and find out who that person really is.
Mm-hmm. You can do anything on your phone, even though we kind of glitchy right now. It's because we on our phone.
Sure.
So we all got them.
Yeah, you silly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That was definitely good stuff. It's
good stuff, man.
Like she said, knowledge power. Once you got that knowledge, man, you can do anything.
Oh
absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So just make sure you use it, man. I don't want to just say vote. I wanted to get on here and talk about that because don't just vote. Make sure you pay attention to what you're voting for. Because it's the craziest thing. You sit there and vote for somebody and then something come down that they did, and you're like, oh, but you voted for them.
Yeah.
Attention. Pay attention. So
again. Well, other than that, y'all good? Everything good with y'all? Yeah. We ain't been on in a minute. We ain't chopped it up in a minute. We all been working crazy overtime. Crazy overtime. Yeah. This is tomorrow will be my first day off in 3 weeks.
Well, I'm not off. I'm not off tomorrow. I'm ready to go to sleep. I'm about to work 4 straight.
Really?
I hear you.
Man.
I'll be there. No days off. Good.
It's crazy.
But we had to show our public some love.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to.
Absolutely. Hey, if the people that's going to watch is the people that are listening right now, if you haven't already, please like our page, share it, send it out to people. Also, check out our YouTube channel. Have everything that's on our Facebook is on our YouTube too. Check out our Instagram. Trying to get a contract signed for Jay Lee. Last time he bust out some lyrics for us, some some JoJo and KC type nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
I got a new.
So we trying to give them a contract. So everybody, you know, like our page, you know what I mean, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I got a new soundtrack coming out.
Oh man.
I bet you do. What is called? What is called?
No, I can't tell you right now. I can't tell you.
You can't say.
I don't want nobody stealing.
You don't want nobody stealing this title.
I'm not stealing it. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire.
It's too moist, huh?
Huh? Huh?
I said it's too moist, huh?
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right, but yeah, for real, share this so other people can get that information just in case they don't have it. You know what I mean? But
yep.
We appreciate y'all, man. And I think that's just about it, man.
Yeah. We'll holler at y'all another time, man.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Easy.
Easy.